All right, we are good to go. We'll wait a minute for everyone to come on in, and we'll dive right into it. A lot to get to and a lot of markets to cover, and we got plenty of premiums to add to today's card. As you can see, not even a package up, which will be going up in the next hour. So we got our college basketball to get to, MLB to get to, and we'll talk NBA as well. We have one premium so far. And then, of course, I got to do also with the UFC. So we're going to go quickly. All right, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, they're having problems right now here where I'm staying. And they actually sent a memo that they are working on the Wi-Fi, and it'll be maybe going in and out. So I have backup to make sure I'm able to place bets. But for the chat, just keep that in mind. Now, all right. We'll wait another minute, and then we'll dive in. Let me see if anything else has come in while we wait. All right, nothing. Perfect. Okay. Wi-Fi continues to give me problems, man. And like I said, I don't have any control over that today. They are implementing something here at the hotel, and it may be going in and out a little bit. So we'll dive right in. Let's just get into it real quickly. Tough split last night. As I hope you guys got the message. There were both sides were just about exactly value-wise the same, meaning the difference between my power rating and what the line was gave us value on Alabama and Tennessee. Now, I wasn't going to throw 2 5% out there and have the world blow up over it. So I said I'll use Alabama because the money line looks more attractive on Tennessee. So I could put a 5% on Alabama, then I could put 4% on Tennessee and a 1% on the money line. Now, you see how tight these lines are this late in the season. We ended up splitting because Alabama loses by 10. Tennessee wins outright. And then in the Duke game, I was going to split up Duke like we've been doing with half money line, half spread. But we already had Duke on the money line with our future to win the East region. So I said we're going to take them on the point spread since we already have 4 units on the over. So I was just trying to balance our risk out. Ended up more or less splitting. Again, to go on a hot run, sometimes you need a little bit of good luck to go our way. And it would have been nice to have Duke win by another layup or have Alabama hit a 3. But it didn't happen. And with that said, let's go over results. In college basketball, we're still sitting exactly where we've been all season. Top 3 in profit, up over 60 units, close to a 4 or 5% ROI. And 55, 56% ATS, which is sustainable. We could do that year in, year out, over and over again without needing to get hot. Now, those years that we get hot is where you have that outlier. With that said, fortunately, we find ourselves up in 2026 as well. Now, we did drop some units. Again, we shot out quickly in January and February. Ooh, may have some moves coming in. Indeed, we do. All right, we're going to have a little baseball. All right. So, with that said, we find ourselves up, obviously, college basketball, up in NBA, up in NHL, and up for the year. But we got to manage our risk correctly, as I always talk about, to get through those tough stretches. And the truth is, even though we're still sitting close to 70 units in college basketball, we haven't grinded a profit the last 7 days. In fact, let me check. I keep it real. You know that. Because I have one goal. That's it. If they're aligned, I'll produce for you. And that's, let's turn a profit in 2026. Whether we have an up February or down February, or up January or what have you, when the dust settles is all that matters. That's all we ultimately care about. And for that to happen, we got to manage our risk correctly. We got to bet small in relation to our bankroll. And the way I do it is simple. I bet 0.25% of the rating. A 4% rating, 0.25% of that would be 1%. What's 0.25% of 4%? 1%. So I'd be betting 1% of my bankroll on 4% ratings. It's that simple. I bet 0.25 on a 1%, 0.50 on a 2%, 0.75 on a 3%, 1% on a 4%, and 1.25 on a 5%. So we're never betting more than 1.25% of bankroll. You got a $10,000 bankroll, you're never betting more than to win $125 on favorites or flat bet 125 or dogs. Now you may say, hey, 10 dimes, I'm betting $100. How am I going to make any money? Rest assured, we fire enough volume where our ROI will be impressive when the dust settles. We got to get the 400 units to double our bankroll. Now, I know 100% return on a bankroll is near impossible to do in 365 days. But that's my goal every single season, every single year, forgive me. And we've accomplished that in more years than we haven't. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm still able to do this. So if you are patient and you manage your risk correctly, what I'm sharing with you is going to produce a profit. And the best way to keep your ROI low is to take advantage of the specials when Wager Talk offers them. And right now, they got a huge special. I'm going to give it to you guys right now. Again, you're the hardcores, so you're the one that take advantage of this. And I can't believe this. For $91 a month, they're giving away. So you got to go, though, to the special package, where they have the page with the specials. Go to the specials, and you will see the all-in for a year with me. And here's what they're giving you, bro. It was $19.99. They slashed it to $14.59. You put Ace 25, and it's another 25% off. So it brings it down to about $1.94. All right, that's $91 a month. For $90 a month, they give you the $1,000 blackjack course, a weekly SteamRoom, a free month of Odds Logic, and all my premiums for 12 months. I'm not sure who okayed this, but I'm down. For the hardcores, I'm down. Anyone's going to partner for the year, I'm down. Give it to them for that, and let's make some money. Now, we got to dive right in because I need to fire some premiums. It's Saturday. We need to unload, and we definitely have some value on the board. So here's how we're going to do this today. To cut time short, so I'm not on here wasting time. I need to jump off and get back to work. Things are coming in. As I'm looking right now, instant messaging, bunch of plays. I need to be off of here so I can focus. But first, we need to cover what we're looking at so you can be prepared. Now, in NBA, we're being very selective. The only bet we've placed so far, as you know, is the Milwaukee Bucks plus 18. That's the Steam Sheet Premium. That was in multiple accounts. And we have the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's it. Nothing in NHL. We have the one NHL play that came in from our NHL source. That's the total. And we have nothing yet in college basketball and nothing yet in Major League Baseball. Now, I do have some Major League Baseball looks that we're going to take a look at right now and work to confirm. And then I'll talk college basketball and get going. All right. So let's start Major League Baseball. Here's where we are leaning strong and see if we can confirm this together right now. Let's start off right here. White Sox and Milwaukee. White Sox and Milwaukee. All right. We're going to go under 8.5. Under 8.5. Are you ready? Milwaukee. And the White Sox. Under 8.5, minus 115, 120 at Hard Rock, at DraftKings. Now we will go 8. You'll see when I stick it in there. But we want to go under 8.5. That's where the 4% value lies. Now, obviously, you could go under 8 because that pushes on 8. But with 8.5s out there, you obviously want to go for the best line. Now, if you're going under 8, obviously, you want plus money. You want plus money, at least even. So now we're going to go 4%, 4%. On Milwaukee and the White Sox under. All right. And let's go to Detroit and San Diego, game 9:30. I waited for the Steam guys, for you guys, so we could fire live together. I live for this shit. All right. And here, same thing. We're looking for that 8.5. We're looking for that 8.5. That's available. We're going with Detroit. Where are you at, Detroit? I need to start writing Tigers in there because it's coming up the Flyers, Red Wings, the Pistons, Minnesota. We don't want that. We want the Tigers, Bo. The Tigers. Give me Tigers. And Padres. There we go. Give me the total. There we go. There we are. Let's go under 8.5. Under 8.5. Minus 120. Now, again, we'll take 8. We will take 8 because it pushes. We couldn't do that if we were going under 9 and it was 8.5 because 9 would push and 8.5 would lose. But we can. All right. So that's 2 4%. 2 4%. Hold on. We're not done. We're not done. We're doing our baseball card right now. I'm going to give you the sides we're looking at. Hi, bud. I promise. Daddy going to play with you. Come here. Been so good. This man's been so good, dude. He just Good little boy. Such a good boy. All right, so we have those two 4% in. Now, here's the signs we are looking at. You could lay on my lap, my boy. You could lay on my lap. Let's look at these sides. And let me pull up the Steam sheet because we're going to add. We're going to add the strong leans to the Steam sheet. That's why that thing's gold. You should be looking at that every day. If you notice, I put in the NBA props. I get some nights I'll have 10, 15 props. Okay. I can't send out 15 plays. Trust me. Half my subscribers will be emailing customer support, asking to switch cappers. Like, it just creates chaos. So I've given you guys my word. I'm narrowing down volume. And the way I'm using the props is I'm sharing the props as premiums that are in multiple accounts. Those are the ones that have the most money on them. Now, I have action on every single one because props do well. We all know. And I will add them to the Steam sheet every single day when we fire. So like yesterday, there may be 7 or 8 in there. All of those are 3% bets for me. I can't send them out as premiums. Again, you know the reasoning, but make sure you pay attention to those because everything in there I bet. Like right now, I'm going into the Steam sheet to add as we do this, as we go through these baseball sides. Now, hold on. Let me pull up the Steam sheet. There's so much stuff in here, man. Here we go, Milwaukee. Okay. Now, let's go to baseball. Let's go to baseball. Now, we just confirmed White Sox, Milwaukee, and Detroit, San Diego. So I need to let them know that Detroit, San Diego upgraded to 3% premium. White Sox and Milwaukee wasn't on there. Now, we're going to look at, where was it? Pittsburgh and the Mets. Pittsburgh and the Mets. Now, a lot of the steam on the Steam sheet early in the morning are from overnights. Limits are low on overnights. So what happens is sometimes they're using the overnights to manipulate a line and get a better number. And then when more books offer lines, next day they could unload the other side at a better number. We're seeing that right now with Pittsburgh and the Mets, 906, where they're going over 7.5 minus 105 they took. Pittsburgh and the Mets. And it's the same crew on under, what's it called? 8. All right. So they dummied it up. They dummied up that line. Okay. They dummied up that line. Which makes sense. You're coming off a 8, a round number. Now you're at a half. So just for a limit bet, a nickel limit bet, you could move that number that way. Why wouldn't you? And they are now going over. Personally, I didn't have an opinion on that game, so I'm passing. I'm not going to touch it, but just shows you to pay attention and check back on the Steam sheet because that's going to happen. Now, a couple other plays that we saw get some steam, and I'm going to add them right now in baseball. Let's get the baseball done for you guys for today, pretty much. Okay. Now they bet chalk. They bet 902, the Cubs at minus 220. All right. They took the Cubs at minus 220. And they took Toronto, game 9-10, at minus, all the way up to minus 171 and up to minus one. They took 180 as well. Guys, up to 180 on Toronto. And what other side? I think there's another side they just came in on. Let's see. Yeah, Baltimore. Baltimore at minus 150. So they took 912 Baltimore. See, here's the problem. Like, I like Baltimore. I do. I like the Cubs. I like Toronto. But I've already released 2 4% premiums. And with MMA, with college basketball, with NHL, with UFL that I sent out, I just don't want to send 20 premium plays and have like what happened 2 Saturdays ago and wipe out my subscribers. My job is also to protect you because we're all a team. We're partners through the end of the year. And my only objective is to make sure my results are profitable and that I guide you so that your results reflect mine and are profitable also. Okay? But those are 3 plays I will not release as premiums that I have money on. Cubs, Toronto, and Baltimore. Let me look at this. All right. So that's the college, the Major League Baseball. That's the Major League Baseball. We got 2 4% out of it. Let me just see if we have anything else to get involved in here. Hold on, my boy. All right, everybody's on the Cubbies. No surprise. You know about the Pittsburgh Mets. It looks like the under is the side, but nothing could be further from the truth. They're steaming the over 7.5 there. I'm just going through the baseball one more time. Going through all the games right now and looking at the lines and my own lines. Minnesota, Baltimore. No. Cleveland, Seattle. No. Seattle got a little steam. Seattle caught a little steam at like opener minus 170. White Sox, Milwaukee, we got the under. Detroit, San Diego, we got the under. All right, we're good. We're good in baseball. We are good in baseball. NHL, we have 1 play, right? That's it. That's all we got. UFL, we have the Defenders, right? That's already going off. UFC, I will get you as soon as I jump off. 1 steam plays in there, Izzy Adesanya. You know we already have 2 premiums. More are coming. Actually, forced the pass. I actually like Piper in that. Today at all. I'm not going to keep you long today at all. We're going to go through the stuff quickly, and then I'm going to get back to work because my goal is to get you guys plays. A great question, City. Why take minus 200 in baseball? Because the true line should be minus 240. That's it. No different. That's the only thing that the guys that win are looking at. What is their implied line and what is the book offering? So if they come up that team A should beat team B 3 out of 4 times, their true line's minus 300. That's what the true line is. If the book puts up minus 250, they're going to lay that 250 all day, regardless what the sport is, what the market is, what the bet is. The only thing that matters is their true line's minus 300. The book's offering minus 250. That's plus EV. That's sports betting in a nutshell. That's the holy grail. If you do that, you're a mathematical certainty to turn a profit. But you have to be right in knowing that the market's inefficient. And rest assured, these betting syndicates that are laying minus 200, they're very good at determining efficiency. And if they're going to lay 200, they're very confident that the line should be 230, 240, 250. Again, recreational bettors make the mistake of equating value with plus money. Putting up $1 and getting back $5, that's value. That's not value. The roulette wheel gives you 35 to 1 if you get the number right. But there's 38 numbers on a roulette wheel. So unless you're getting 39 to 1, there's no value. Even if you get the number right, it's a bad bet. Bad bets win all the time. Now, if they were giving you 40 to 1, even if you lose every bet, you placed great bets because they should only be playing you 35 to 1. So you have an edge on every bet you place. Even though you may go 0-10 on that roulette wheel, you had the edge every single bet. That's the disconnect between winning professional bettors and recreational bettors that never get over that hump and are profitable, because they equate good bets with results. And in the short term, nothing could be further from the truth. Bad bets win all the time. Good bets lose all the time. But here's the kicker. Unless you're only placing one bet, it does matter. If you're only placing one bet, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is winning. Who cares about closing line value? Who cares about getting the best number? The only thing that should matter to you is that you cash your ticket. But if you're going to be betting again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the week after that and the month after that, then what happens in today's bet shouldn't mean shit to you. The only thing that should matter to you is that you're placing plus EV bets, that you're getting the best of it, that before the game starts, you have the edge. If you take my blackjack course, those of you that signed up for the year, that's why I tell you, watch the blackjack course. That carries over perfectly to sports betting. Because with blackjack, if you follow what I teach, before the dealer deals, you'll know exactly who has the edge and exactly what that edge is. Whether the house has 1% edge or I have 1% edge, whether they have a 3% edge or whether I have a 4% edge. You'll know that going in. And you should with sports betting as well. Now, great question, Craig. How do you determine the line? Personally, I use power ratings. I have my power ratings. That's how I was able to create a line already for the Elite Eight, for the Sweet 16. I could create my line now for the Final Four. If you tell me if Illinois versus Arizona, what should the line be? I'll tell you right now. I would make Arizona a 3-point favorite against Alabama. So if Arizona wins today and Illinois wins today, then I'll look at the Final Four. Let's say they're playing each other, which they're not. But then I make my line 3. Before I even look at what the book puts up, I know that Arizona should be a 3-point favorite. So if the book puts up Arizona -1, I'm laying Arizona. But if the book puts up 5.5, 6, I'm taking Illinois. The line, what they put up is going to determine who I'm betting because I already have a price. See, most recreational bettors do it the opposite. They look at the line and then they start handicapping. You've already been biased. They already let you know who the favorite is. My math may show different. I may think that Arizona should be favored over Duke. The book may have Duke favored over Arizona. So if I look up and they make Duke a 4-point favorite over Arizona, I'm already biased believing that Duke's the favorite. But if I have my work done first and my work shows Arizona -4 and I go in there and they make Duke a 2-point favorite, if I trust in my work, then I know I got a great bet on Arizona. Now, how am I going to be sure that I was right? This is the holy grail. That if I take Arizona -1, if I was right and my power rating reflected 4, then Arizona should close as a higher favorite than -1. They should close -2.5, maybe -3. The market should come towards me. I should be ahead of it, but it should start coming in my direction. That'll show that I got closing line value. Now, if I have closing line value before a game starts, mathematically, I have the edge. And again, just because you have an edge doesn't matter in the short term. It doesn't give you any kind of certainty. The only certainty it gives you is that if I continue to do this over and over, I'll be profitable long term. It really is that simple, but at the same time, that difficult. Because at the end of the day, that is what we're doing. We are making trades based on an inefficient market, if that's what we see. If we believe the line is different, that's the only reason we should be betting. If I think the line's right, then I'm laying 11 to win 10 on a coin that their line's correct. And that whether I bet side A or side B, there's no value when laying 11 to win 10. Because for the book to profit, they need to do one of two things. They need to balance the action 50-50, because then they'll get the VIG, or balance the result. It's very hard to balance the action. It's very hard to guarantee you're going to get the exact dollars on both sides. But it's very easy to guarantee the results by shading the lines towards bettors' biases. That's why if you look over the last 5,000 NFL games, you're going to get close to 2,500 favorites, 2,500 dogs, 2,500 overs, 2,500 unders. The market's that efficient that whether you bet blindly dogs or favorites, overs or unders, you will lose money with the VIG factored in. Exactly. That's what creates the market, John. That difference between the participants in our opinions. Long term, the results are going to determine who was correct. Short who was correct by where the line closes. Against Casey O'Neill as the favorite. She's now an underdog. That's a bad bet. Any way you look at it, I placed a bad bet. Now I'm hoping to be the product of good luck. She could go out there and win, but that wasn't a good bet. It's just like last week. I had one UFC bet. Remember Al Sawadi? We bet him early at like -120. When the fight started, Al Sawadi was +120. So I placed an awful bet. A terrible bet. We won that bet, so we were happy. But if I continue to do that over and over again, if I have a ticket that says -120 and he goes off at +120, I can promise you I will go broke. That means I'm so far behind the market, I shouldn't even be betting. I shouldn't probably even be watching sports. I shouldn't be allowed to watch games at that point if all my bets are turning out that way, that I'm getting opposite closing line value. Because you got to be honest with yourself when you place a good bet, when you don't place a good bet. And a lot of times we place good bets. We lay -120 and it goes off at -150, -160. More times than not. But those times that I lay -150 and he goes off at minus 120, that's a bad bet. I need to go back in my work and figure out what did I miss and what did I do wrong. That's at least how I grade my stuff. I don't care about the result. I trust when the dust settles, I'll be up money. I have enough accounts and I work with enough betting syndicates that those guys are going to win. They place enough bets, enough props, enough second halves, enough team totals. When the dust settles, as long as I can provide accounts, they'll make money for me. My goal is to make sure my subscribers can use that info to make money. And to do that, I try to narrow down that time-sensitive information so that we can still use it. And to do that, took a long time to learn how to do that. Because again, it's hard enough to win for yourself, but then to be profitable, to have your information be profitable after you use it is very, very difficult. Now, I personally create power ratings. That's what works for me. I do it now. I have somebody that I consider a specialist, genius level specialist, and back in Philly that I pay to do it for all sports for me. Baseball, the reason we haven't been betting a lot of baseball is he needs data. Without data, he's going off last year and projections. I don't want projections. I want certainty. And for him to give me certainty, he needs data. Luckily, baseball is such a long season that in 3 weeks, we'll have a whole NFL season worth of data. In a month, we'll have two college football seasons worth of data and an NFL season worth of data. And then we start firing. Now, early, we're piggybacking the betting syndicates in baseball because they do well. Like this, the 2 unders we bet today, they're betting syndicate stuff. They're not mine. They're from betting syndicates. But a couple weeks from now, when I have my list of baseball power ratings, we will only use premiums that align with my numbers, just like we do now with college football, with college basketball, with NBA. And as you've seen, we've been profitable in each. So let's get into the college football, college basketball. So then I could give you quick MMA synopsis and we could get out of here and I could finalize some stuff. Mets, KC, or San Fran. Everything is on the Steam sheet as far as Major League Baseball that I have. I just added the extra at the last 3 games that I got. So if it's not on there, I haven't seen anything, at least the accounts I have access to. I put them all in there. So let's go college basketball. Here's what I'm looking at. And when I jump off, I'm probably going to confirm. I'm very close. I'm very close. We just have some time. We have a couple hours. And again, I should have it up because I'd be selling packages, but I don't give a shit about selling packages. I care about cashing tickets for my guys. That's what I give a fuck about. So here's where we're at, okay? Forgive me. That was gross. All right. Now, power rating wise, tomorrow we're going to have a 5%. I'm telling you now, just so you know. Tomorrow we're firing a 5% on the Elite 8 game, okay? Because the power rating's off, and I expected that. Now, here's what we're looking at today. Iowa at Illinois. Iowa versus Illinois, forgive me. Iowa versus Illinois. Now, I have Illinois as the 8th best team in college basketball coming into these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, coming into the tournament, I had them 8th, all right? 4 points behind Duke at 87.5 power rating, Duke 91.5. So I have a 4-point difference between them and the best team, Illinois. Illinois, number 8. Iowa isn't ranked in the AP, but I have them 24th. They're in the top 25 in my rankings, and here's why. Because even though they're weak offensively, they're barely top 50, they're top 20 defense, and they did it against a top 20 strength of schedule. Now, Illinois, a lot better and a lot more balanced on paper. They're top 5 offense, barely top 30 defense, but a top 15 strength of schedule. So on paper, Illinois is better everywhere. Slightly Iowa better stats on defense, but they also had the easier strength of schedule. So I got to give the nod everywhere to Illinois. Now, I made my true line Illinois -6. Okay. I made my true line Illinois -6 and 137. All right. Now, the line opened. Let me look what Bet Online opened it. 7 and 139. At that point, I don't have value on the favorite, obviously, because I make the line 6. And I don't really have much value on the dog either. So there I'd be, if I bet the side, I'd be betting who I think's going to win. You don't make money doing that in betting sports. You don't make money predicting outcomes. Nobody's ever made money doing that. I've been here 30 plus years and I bet a long time prior to that. And in my entire lifetime, I never met anyone that could predict sporting outcomes. The best I've ever found have been able to eye inefficiencies in lines. That's it. Not be able to say this team's going to do that and that's why they're going to do it and that it actually goes out there and happens. Nobody does that. Just look at the write-ups. Even when people win their bets, does the game play out like the write-up? Maybe once every 5, 10 write-ups, it plays out that way. So we're guessing. Let's be honest. When we're predicting, we're guessing. We're all guessing. Let's not guess. Let's instead have some certainty. And the way to do that is by finding inefficient lines. Now, we don't have an inefficient line on the side, but the total, we have a couple points. And that's on the under. Now, it went down to 137. I mean, on the over, forgive me. Well, I meant to say that my total was higher, forgive me, than the 137 it dropped to. Okay, so let me back up. Let me back up. Sorry, a lot going on here. So I made Illinois 5.5, okay, and 147. 5.5 and 147. When this opened at 139, I saw value on the over. Okay. But immediately, a group I work with sent out a buy order under 139. So I'm not going to butt heads with guys that I know win long term because I know so few win long term. Less than 0.5% of bettors are actually profitable. So if someone that's actually profitable is opposite me, I'm going to respect that. I'm going to back up a little and pay attention. So I didn't send out the over because it went down to 137. Well, if you look up now, it's back up to 139. Okay. What does that tell me? That there was resistance. There was resistance. And now there's over at 137. And that's a different group that was sent to me by someone I share stuff with. And I'll put that in the Steam sheet as well. So they have it. That you're noticing they're betting both sides of a lot of these games and totals. This is what these betting syndicates do. A lot of it is for confusion and they manipulate the market, but this is the game. And if you ever worked with anyone that provides accounts, you ever partnered up, then you already know. Anyone that's ever given me accounts knows what the accounts look like. We bet 80 things in there. We're betting all kind of shit. We're bobbing and weaving, and somehow when the dust settles, we're up. So there's a lot of stuff that goes in and out. We only care about the gold. We only care about the gold. In Illinois, Iowa, there's only one piece of gold, and that's on the over. Now, I would have liked it at 137. The problem is the public's on the over as well. And when that's the case, if you watched Wager Talk last call this morning, I said sharps on under, public on the over. Sharps on the under, public on the over. Because that's what was going on at that time. We were looking at 137. It was getting steamed under. But since last call, we've gotten that over sharp money come in as well. Coupled with the public sharp money, public money has forced the books to adjust significantly on that over. That's the problem in Illinois, Iowa. Why I haven't bet over yet. but I do lean that way. We're probably not going to get there because I'm only trying to pick off the best spots, the biggest positions. And this one just isn't that clear. Let's be honest. It's just not. Gun the head, I'm betting Iowa and over. Gun the head, I'm probably betting Iowa and over if I have to. At 7, again, I think this line's a little bit too high. Mine comes out about 5, 5.5, 6 at the most. And that's adjusting for March Madness play. So unless you see a late play on Iowa and over, we're probably sitting it out. So, Iowa and over is what I like. Now, second game, Arizona and Purdue. This is a little different. We have Purdue, who had the 7th toughest schedule in all college basketball. Top 12 offense, top 12 defense. Arizona, 8th toughest strength of schedule. 3rd in offense, 19th in defense. These are two very close teams. Very close teams. The difference is Arizona made it look easy and Purdue did not. Purdue did not. That gives us a little bit of value here on that Purdue side. All right? It does. I'm almost hesitant to bet it, but that's what we're looking at right now. And power rating wise, we're looking at Purdue and under because I made the game 3 and I made the total 151. So first game, we're looking at Iowa and over. Second game, we're looking at Purdue and under. I will probably confirm within 30 minutes of getting off of here. Going to make those last few calls. And then it's just going to be MMA. And I can tell you right now what we're doing in MMA. Let's do that right now. And then I'll get you guys out of here. So you already know the Adesanya and Piper situation. I am betting Alexa Grasso. That will be sent out to you when I get off of here against Macy Barber. The reason she wasn't added earlier in the week is because the line kept moving up on Macy Barber. Belguri is sharp. I'm not sure if we're going to piggyback him in our premiums, but Belguri is sharp. Move down to Tyrell Fortune. We're on. You know that. Gabriel Fernandez, we're on. Line moved against us. Yanez also sharp against Ricky Simon. Yanez also sharp. Yanez opened as the favorite. He's now the underdog at plus money. Sharps took Yanez. So that's what's going on in MMA. Again, as I always do, I go through each fight with an originator friend of mine every Saturday. We discuss, we argue, and we narrow down. And I will confirm what I have. I'm not doing volume anymore with MMA. I went back years and saw the best we did was when I was narrowing down. Really narrow down. So that's what I'm going to do. And I would just add any volume to the Steam sheet. It worked last week with only one bet. And if I only have 2 this week, that's what it's going to be. But I'm pretty sure we're going to add a couple more. So that's going to do it. Let me see if we got any questions. Don't forget Ace 25 to jump on board and get that $91. Holy shit. $91. All right. Dang, we were going live. Everybody was on this. I love it. All right. And make sure you check my new Twitter. All right. You are very welcome, Greg. You're very welcome, bro. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And like I said, we haven't had our breakout. Like it started early in January, in February. Like we're grinding right now. I don't want you guys to miss out. I'm telling you, right now, I'm trying to be very cautious and careful and protect what we have. And like with baseball here, we're going to have a couple of months of grind that I'm confident when we look up, we'll be sitting on a lot of units. Just bet small in relation to bankroll to offset any negative run. And you're going to do just fine, boys. You're going to do just fine. It's at Gianni the Greek, at Gianni the Greek _, at Gianni the Greek _. And now, like I said, let's make some money today. I will confirm the college basketball within the next 60 minutes, I promise you, so that by noon, 3 p.m. Eastern, we're done. We're done. The Steam sheet will be final for you guys by noon. I'll have the updated NBA, college basketball, NHL, all that stuff in the next 60 minutes because I want you to be able to enjoy your day as well. And then tomorrow, bright and early. Don't forget, bright and early on Sunday. Let me see what time these games go off. Okay, first one don't go off till 11 a.m. But we're going to be firing some fivers, so be ready. Yasu William, buddy. Yasu, brother. So God bless you and yours. I know tomorrow is Palm Sunday for Christians. For Orthodox Christians, it's next Sunday, like myself. God bless you and yours. And let's do some fucking damage. Ace 25, ace 25. And